Okay, students, once again we meet. Okay, how are you all? I hope you all have been doing my work, at least looking at the clips and trying to get some understanding from the subject matter, okay, based on the notes also, okay. So as for today, we are at part 13, okay, and our focus will be on from page 69 to 71. So actually all these diagrams you can see in the notes, okay. And the other day when I was ending my lesson, we were talking about how force on current carrying conductor in a magnetic field, the force that is created in the magnetic field can make an object to move, any conductor in the magnetic field to move, okay. So what the purpose of learning that is basically to learn about how a motor function, okay. So end of this lesson you should be able to explain how the rotation in a motor takes place. It's basically applying this idea. Right. Before that you have to know the basic things, how this magnetic field. The other day we was learning, it's a very simple rule, that is a straight conductor carrying current in a magnetic field, the force takes place based on Fleming left hand rule, okay. Then after that I asked you to do a question at page 69, I suppose, page 69, that is over here. Alright, so what if you look at the question, they ask you to do a magnetic field, ask you to draw the magnetic field over here. Alright, so have you done that? Okay, I hope you have done that. So now maybe you can check your working. In the notes itself you can draw the diagram. Okay, number one, they ask you to draw the magnetic field in between north and south. So this is very simple. You just have to draw straight line. Right, the field always move, the line of forces or the field always move from north pole to the south pole. Okay, minimum for SPM you have to draw minimum 3 lines. If you draw 2 lines of forces, you have no marks. So minimum 3 or more, and make sure the lines are distinguished lines, cannot overlap, cannot simply draw like this. This is wrong. Okay, so the line must be individual lines, because magnetic field is a vector quantity, so therefore they have to draw individual lines, starting from the north ending at the south. Okay, alright. After that, the second diagram, they ask you to draw the magnetic field around current carrying conductor. So here we already learned, dot means the conductor is coming out from the white port. Okay, so it's out. So if out, you use right hand grip rule now. So right hand grip rule says if it is out, it is anti-clockwise. Okay, so again you draw 3 individual lines, 3 circles around it. Okay, which is anti-clockwise. You can draw the arrow. And this is the current here is going this way inside the board. So this is clockwise. Okay, clockwise. So we can see the clockwise lines here, 3 lines I'm drawing. Okay, so if you look right at this 2 magnetic field, we can find something interesting here. Although this is anti-clockwise, this is clockwise, but in the middle both are moving in the same direction. Okay, so what we are trying to tell you here is the field in the middle is very, very strong, because both the field are moving in the same direction. So more resultant field in the middle, so the field is stronger. Okay, now what you are going to do, you are going to combine. Okay, we are going to combine the magnetic field in a current carrying conductor, but this is no more a straight line. This is no more a straight wire. It's something like an anchor here. You can see, like positive. Okay, as you can see here, the positive current going through here. So this is what actually they indicate by this. Okay, in between the magnetic field, which comes to this. Okay, so what you have to do now, to draw the magnetic field. Okay, this is something interesting to draw. If you understand, it's very easy. So next time, any direction they give, whether the north or south here, interchange, or current enter here and comes out, anyhow they give also, we can still draw the resultant field, which I so call it as what? Catapult field, or elastic field. So this elastic field is the one making the coil or the conductor to turn or move in the magnetic field. Okay, so now, so if you, as you look here, the magnetic field, I just draw one line first. Okay, this is anti-clockwise. As you can see here, this is anti-clockwise, this is clockwise. Okay, this is clockwise. Okay, as you can see here, the magnetic field lines come from the north. When it comes to the north, you see this field from the current carrying conductor, which is opposing the north field above this conductor. But below, as you can see, the field same direction with the current carrying conductor field. The permanent field same direction as the current carrying conductor. Okay. So what happened here? So here two forces opposing. So the resultant is no more there. So the field no longer goes here. It will move something like this a little. Okay. So it move away because it's opposing. But over here it follows, and it follows. And come here, over here you can see this field is going this way. So it goes here is opposed, but since it is curved here, so this field will come and join here and then comes here. That's it. Okay? That means you have a field like this. Okay, you have a field. Okay? You have a field like this. Okay? And you can see here the field like an S shape. Okay? So the field something like this. Okay? Okay, so here the dot, here the cross. Okay, so the resultant field move this way and this way. So that means here more field, here more field. So here more field means force will be from the stronger field, here weak. So from a stronger field to weaker field, so the force is down here. Here stronger field, here weaker. So stronger to weaker is upward. So as you can see here, the current carrying conductor in the magnetic field now having a pair of forces which is in opposite direction. The one on the right goes down, the one on the left goes up. So this is known as coupling force. Coupling. Coupling force. This is from the catapult field we get the coupling. Couple means one pair, right? Man and woman we call couple. So coupling force means a pair of forces which is moving in the opposite direction to give you a rotation effect. So you can see it over here, right? So what actually happened? This is actually over here. As you can see here, the current is moving this way. Alright, in the anchor it goes this way and then comes up. Okay, before that let us discuss some basic parts of a motor which you must know. Alright, this is permanent magnet, it's written there. The one anchor shape, this is called anchor, the conductor, current carrying conductor in a square shape which is connected to a semicircular metal piece here which we call it as commutator. This is known as commutator. As you can see here, the current carrying conductor is attached to this commutator. This current carrying conductor is attached to this commutator. Okay, as the anchor rotates, this commutator will rotate also. And at any one time, alternatively, this commutator will touch this carbon brush, and we call it carbon brush. In your notes, they just put carbon. Okay, we can call it as carbon brush. This is the one actually touching the commutator, and over here we have a spring to push the carbon, so always it is intact with the commutator whenever the commutator reaches this position. Okay, so this thing rotates. You can see in the four diagrams here is already shown. Okay, so what you have to know in your SPM is to explain how this catapult field, catapult force taking place over here. Alright, the coupling force taking place over here in order to give you a rotation effect. Alright, so you can see it as just this condition. Okay, suppose the commutator now is in horizontal position, alright, with the carbon brush. Okay, now the current enters. As the current enters, okay, here again we can use Fleming left-hand rule. If you are not sure of this, okay, the current here enters. This is north to south. Can you see? North to south, alright. This is current, so current enter north to south. So the force is downward. and over here in this anchor part, alright, north to south, but the current now is coming out. So north to south, current coming out, so it's up. So here down, here up. So this force is upward. So what you get here? You get a rotational effect. So this is how a rotation takes place in the motor. Alright? So if you draw the field, where the stronger field on the top part, right? So the field is actually like this. If you want to draw that, alright? Yes. So this is how the field over here interacting with the current carrying conductor field to give you a downward force, and here to give you the upward force. Okay, this is opposite. This is north south. Here the current is entering. So here the current is coming out. That's why the force you can see here, it is clockwise the rotation, but here is anti-clockwise the rotation because of the direction of the current. Okay, as I said just now, if you once you know the Fleming left-hand rule, you can apply to explain how the force direction eventually. Alright, so to end the lesson, we discussed this, and I want you to read back. Okay, after this lesson, I'll give you some questions based on whatever you've learned so far in this topic. So we have learned, earlier we learned electromagnet, application of electromagnet, and then now we are talking about force on current carrying conductor in the magnetic field. Okay, these two subtopics, I will post some questions, so I want you to try those questions, and later we will discuss. Okay, alright, so let us see now how this thing. So here I didn't draw the magnet. Suppose this is a four position of commutator, as you can see here, the darkened one and the brightness. Is a two commutator just to differentiate at this condition. Alright, after that this goes up, this is on the top, the bottom, and then another quarter turn, it comes here, another quarter turn, it goes to vertical. Alright, okay, why this turning is like this? Okay, as you see here, north, south. Alright, so the current direction is the same. So what happened here? This at any one time it goes up, this one comes down. So you have a rotation. The magnet we didn't draw here. So this is how it rotates. Okay, the second diagram. Okay, the commutator already went up. This commutator was down. Is there now any contact with the carbon brush? There's no contact with the carbon brush. So please look at page 71 of your notes. Okay, in every diagram they have done the explanation which I am giving you now. Okay, so later you look at the clip and then read up this. I think you should be able to understand. Okay, what happened now? There is no more contact of current carrying conductor with this carbon brush. Is there any current flow in this anchor? Now no more, because there is open circuit. Okay, but can it still rotate? There is no more field in this anchor, but there is only a permanent magnetic field exists. Will it rotate? Rightfully it cannot rotate, right? It cannot move because there is no more field interaction from the current carrying conductor, but this thing still will rotate. Why? Because there is a factor called inertia. Inertia you already learned. It's the first Newton's law in chapter 2 from 4. Okay, what is inertia? An object which is will retain its state, whether it's moving or it is rest, it will continue to rest or continue to move unless an external force acting on it. So here it is moving, so it will continue this motion. So that means this anchor will go this direction due to the inertia effect. Okay, it starts to move. So at that instant, it's only a particular instant, a short instance where the thing starts moving. Okay, due to the inertia effect. So when it starts to move, over here it comes here already. Okay, the dark commutator is already here, the bright one is already here. So what happens? The current still moves in the same direction. Okay, as long as the current enters, as you can see here, as long as the current enters, the force here will be down. Over here the force will be up. So what happened? Just now, due to the force effect, current once you on the circuit, it starts moving. Due to inertia, it goes vertical and then start moving down to touch due to the inertia. And now it got another pushing force, so it rotates. So it goes up again and then the rotation continues. So this thing will repeat as long as your circuit is on. If you cut off the circuit, then due to inertia the motor will rotate for some time and then stops eventually. That one you have experienced, right? Any motor You turn it on, you switch it off like fan. You turn on, you turn it off, the fan doesn't stop immediately, it continues to rotate due to the inertia. Then after friction, external force, eventually it stops. So this is how a basic direct current motor works. So the parts very important here is carbon brush, spring, magnet, anchor. Alright, so these are the important parts that you must know. So what does this function of a commutator? I would like to ask. The function of the commutator is to reverse the direction of current. Why we say reverse the direction of current? Because if suppose if I say this is A, anchor, commutator A, commutator B. Over here, commutator A, the direction of current goes here and then comes up. But when it comes to here, now the B is here, A is here, the direction of current is in. Just now it was going this way A, upward, now for A it coming this way. So that means the commutator helps to reverse the direction of current in order to maintain the rotational force in one direction. Alright, suppose I want to, okay, this one the turning is anti-clockwise, right? Anti-clockwise. If I want to turn the motor clockwise, what I do? Simple, either I change the polarity of the battery or I switch the north pole and the south pole of the magnet. I interchange, then I will get rotational effect. I am very sure if you use a toy motor, if you put the motor battery in right direction, it will rotate in one direction. If you reverse the direction of the battery, the motor will also reverse its rotational direction. Okay, clockwise or anti-clockwise. Okay, this is how. Okay, this is how the force on current carrying conductor in a magnetic field is applied to explain how a motor, basic direct current motor works. Okay, in actual motor, you will have many commutators and the coils are a lot. Okay, so here at the end of your lesson at page 71, they have given you the factors that influence the speed of the rotation. Okay, you want the motor to rotate fast, what you should do? Okay, here they give you 4 factors. Number 1, increasing the size of current. That means you put more and more battery, more current, more force. Okay, you see force come from the current. Then second is magnetic field. You use, here they give you using strength of magnetic field. So you use a stronger magnet, the rotation will be faster. Third, number of turns. So here you don't have one coil, you have many turns, many coils in a motor. If you open up a motor, you can see the turnings are a lot there. Okay, so you have more turns, the force also increases because more turns, more current carrying conductors, so stronger force, so greater rotation. And then increasing the area of the coil. So you make the area of the coil very big, alright, or making more coils with the winding wires, so you can increase the area, which you can increase the speed of the rotation. Okay, so this is how generally, basically a direct current motor works, which you should know how to explain. Alright, so basic thing come from over here. And okay, one more thing to remind you. If you look at page 70, there's one more question they give you here. The other day I asked you to do this, which I have just done. So there's one more diagram before the motor structure. So please try to draw the direction of the rotation in this anchor for this setup. Right? So that's what. And then I'll give you more questions. Maybe another day or two, I'll give you more questions. So first you read up this, try to read and understand and digest it, and then with the question I give you, it will be a short structured question and maybe some objective questions. Okay, so I hope you should be able to do that. Alright, so I think till that we will meet in another class. So hope please you do your work again consistently. I have to remind you again and again, and we will meet up soon in another class with a discussion of questions. Okay, thank you very much.